Good morning, students. This is our second chapter of economics for class 9th, as we have completed chapter 2 in geography, constitutional design. So now we are starting the second chapter of economics for class 9th, people as resource. Some part of this chapter already your earlier ma'am discussed with you. So I am also continuing the chapter. Quick review of first two pages. That what do you mean by people as resource? That resource are the things which are used by us to maintain our life comforts, or you can say to make our life more comfortable. There are various types of resources. Here we are talking about ourselves, that human itself is the greatest resource, because as a human we use the other resources like fan, trees, paper, plant, crops. These are the resources which is developed by the human and which satisfy human needs. But if we talk about agriculture, or so who is the most important resource here? You need land as a resource, then you need seeds, then irrigation, and then who will apply all these things into the land? Human. So human, here we are talking about people as a resource. People as a resource is a way of referring to the working people of a country. So here we are talking about the working people of a country in terms of their existing productive skills and abilities. Considering at the population from this productive aspect emphasizes its ability to contribute to the creation of gross national product. So when we are saying people as a resource, so we are talking about the people who are using their skills, their talent, their caliber to earn something, economically to earn something, and to give their share into their you can say per capita income, country's income, which is known as a gross national product. Like any other resources, population too is a resource. We are having the finest example of China, which is world's topmost, or you can say top populous country around the world, but still its economy is also very, you can say, very good, and they economically they are very satisfied. And while if we compare China economy with India, so India is the second largest populous country, but still we are suffering from poverty. So there is a big difference between China. They are using their largest population in terms of human resource. So although they are so much of population, but still they are using their population as a resource. So that's why their economy is very high. While in India the scene is totally different. Like any other resources, population too is a resource, a human resource. This is positive side of a large population that is often overlooked when we see only the negative side and consider only the problems of providing the population with food, education, access to health facilities. So here we are talking about that every now and then we see the negative challenges behind our second largest populous country like India, that even this second largest populous country or the largest population of a country can be used as a resource, as a human resource. It means their human can be used as a resource, but we always focus on the you can say challenges because of the highest population, that if there is higher population, then there will be so much of food availability is required for them. Then it's all about the basic amenity like education is also another challenge, and their reach to the health facilities. When the existing human resource is further developed by becoming more educated and healthy, so we are talking about that how we can modify the population as a positive aspect. So when it will happen, when we use a strategy, when we develop the strategy to use our more and more educated and healthy human, it is termed as a human capital formation, which adds to the productive power of the country just as physical capital formation. So when we turn the most populous countries maximum population as a healthy population, as a educated population, as a skillful productive population, then it will increase our income, our economy, and it will increase our physical capital formation. So the largest population, the population is also can be used as a resource. So this is thing we are going to read in the chapter people as a resource. Now investment in human capital. Now we are talking about investment. It means expenses, that expenses on human capital through education, training, medical care. That how we use a human as a resource. How can we all are people, how can we use as a resource for our country, for our family? As you can take the example that teachers. Okay, the teachers are male and female, all both are teacher in your school, not only your school but around the country. So teacher are having their abilities to earn money by their skills that they are teaching in various schools as a resource. So here teacher are not only the common, you can say, human, but they are just because of their education and their productivity, they are earning something, and they are you can say they are playing important role to increase per capita income of a country as a capital resource, as a human resource they are working. So when investment will be in human capital through their education, training, medical care, yields are return almost similar as investment in physical capital. If we will invest our money on the education of the people, on their health, on their training, then after some time they will produce, they will, you can say, they will turn themselves as a resource for their family and their country. Now this can be observed directly in the form of higher incomes earned due to higher productivity of the more educated or the person who are better trained, as well as the higher productivity of healthier people. We can take an example that there are so many multinational company, there are so many people. You can take the example of Mark Zuckerberg, you can take the example of Sundar Pichai, you can take the example of Ambani's, that they are the people who spent their life to earn, to develop their skills in the different fields. They are highly educated in their particular field where they are earning so much, and they are becoming a useful resource not for their family but for the country. Even now around the world their name is significant. How? Because they expend the money on their training, on their, to develop their skill and on their education. So these become a resource, these people become a prominent resource. That's why they are famous not only in India but around the world. So here we are talking about the human should be human should develop their skill through various educational programs, through higher education, through various skills, so that they can become a resource in their own country or abroad also. Now that the more the more educated and healthier people gain through higher incomes. We know that whatever income is earned by an individual, it depends on his or her abilities and their educational background and their skills. Just like them, society too gains in other indirect ways, because the advantage of more educated or a healthier population spreads to those who themselves were not directly educated or given health care. It is a fact that human capital is in one way superior to other resources like and other physical capital. It is because human resource can make use of land and capital. Land and capital control become useful on its own. So we are, now there is a difference that when we are saying human capital, human resource, and we are talking about the capital and land. So you know that farmers are the human resource, and for the agriculture they need piece of land. So land is another resource. Then they also need money to purchase the seeds, fertilizer, means of irrigation. But in the absence of human, it means farmer, there will be no productivity, there will be no crops, even we are having land or seeds or fertilizer. So it is a important and it is a significance of the human capital that human, we are the greatest resource who can develop more resources to satisfy our common needs, and who can develop their skill to produce more and more product in a progressive path in the country. So that's why land is the biggest resource. But even if there will be no human, then land is a, you can say, waste piece of land, because it can't possible that automatically the agriculture can be done without the presence of human. That's why human capital, a human resource, is most important among the all the types of resources, including land or money. Now, for several decades, a large population of India has been considered a liability and not as an asset. You can see that for a long period of time we are just having our increasing population as a challenge, because India is lagging behind to developed, yeah, you can say, government, and we also that we are not able to produce such type of skills among the people where they can use their maximum ability to produce something good or to earn their more than their livelihood. So here in India we are not using our so much of population as an asset, as an resource. But it is must be kept in mind that a large population need not be a liability. But there is a need to be understand that if we are having the second largest populous country, it doesn't mean that our population is just like a great responsibility. It can be transformed into a productive asset by investment in human capital. It means in our own country also, the highest population, the increasing population, can be used as a best and as a solid resource. How can it possible? When we will invest on human capital, for instance, by investing resources on education and health for all. That if the country people of India, the youth of India will be educated, will be healthy mentally and physically, they will be properly trained for industrial purposes and agriculture workers, then and with the modern technology and useful scientific research, then you can understand that what will be the scene of our India, that our economy will also increase. So here the need to understand that we have to see the positive side of increasing population also, that how can we use the optimum maximum benefit with the help of the second highest population. So there is a need to develop some strategy that we can use every single individual maximum in a maximum level with the help of their inherent talent and caliber. It is only then possible that we can use the population as a positive manner, as a asset. The two following cases illustrated how people can try to become a more productive resources. There are two stories, and in these two stories you come to know that how we can use people as a resource. So I am going to tell you the one story between these two, the story of Sakal. It is a small story and it is very interesting story, that Vilas and Sakal were friends. There are two friends, one is Sakal and another is Vikas. So Vilas, both were resident of the same village, Simapur. So they both belong to the same village, Simapur. Sakal was a 15-year-old boy. His father name was Bhuta Chaudhary, who worked in an agriculture field. His mother Sheila looked after domestic chores. Sakal always helped his mother in domestic works. He also took care of his younger brother Jitu and sister Situ. Sham was his uncle. Though he had passed the matriculation examination, he did not get a job and so was settling idle in the house. So though Sakal has passed his high school, but still he was not doing anything, as he hasn't get any job. So he was sitting without any purpose at home. And Bhuta and Sheila were very eager to get their son Sakal education. They forced him to join the village school, which he soon joined. He began studying and finished his higher secondary examination. His father persuaded him to continue his study. Then he even took a loan for Sakal to study a vocational course in computer. Sakal was a brilliant student. He was interested in study from the beginning. With a greater vigor and enthusiasm, he finished his course. After some time, he began working in a private firm. He even designed a new kind of software. This software helped him enhance the sale of the firm. His boss acknowledged his talent and rewarded him with a promotion. So it is a story that how in the case of Sakal, who belonged to the small village, and how his parents were belonged to a poor family, but still as Sakal was a very brilliant student from the starting, and he was interested in the studying. So how he had passed his high school, then higher secondary, then intermediate, and then how he went for the vocational computer course, and then he has gotten a good job, and then finally he used his skill, his talent, and he became not only a boy of village, but he developed himself as a resource for a private firm, and then he got a promotion also. So it is all about that if he remain at home idly, his parents will not force him to go for the further study, then he will remain, you can say, jobless, and he will be a burden on the family, on the country also. So it is all about that education plays a significant role in our life, and it also enhance our capability, our skill. So in this case we come to know that Sakal developed himself as a human resource. It is all about this part. We will continue the second part in another video. Thank you. God bless you.